Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Janet, and if you're new here, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. Give this video a like to let me know that you're liking my content, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so YouTube can notify you when I upload a new video. And if you're one of my returning subscribers, thank you so much for being here and welcome back to my channel. All right everyone, today we are making some pumpkin cream cheese muffins. Sorry, that is a mouthful. So we are going to start off this recipe with 5 eggs, and we are going to put those all into a mixing bowl, and we are going to lightly beat them. So I don't know about you guys, but I am ready for everything and anything pumpkin. I hope to be making a few more recipes, including pumpkin, before we get into the Christmas season. I have even a lot of ideas once Christmas comes, which I am so excited to be sharing with you. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm also very, very excited for Vlogmas this year, you guys. I will be vlogging every day in December this year. I did it last year and I plan on doing it again this December, and it gets me so excited. I absolutely love doing Vlogmas, and I love vlogging and uploading every day, and it is just so much fun to do. All right, so we are going to beat those 5 eggs. All right, and as you can see on the top left corner, I do have a half a cup of coconut oil mixed with 2 tablespoons of butter, which I have melted in the microwave. So that is all ready to go. So another ingredient that you will need is obviously pumpkin puree, but I want to make sure that you guys are using 100% pure pumpkin. Don't get like the pumpkin pie filling or any sort of substitute. Make sure that you're using 100% pure pumpkin. That is going to keep your carbs low, and it's going to be really, really important. I know even for myself, I have to double check my ingredients just to make sure, and when I go grocery shopping, that I am picking up the right pumpkin. So this is what I picked up. It is pure pumpkin, and you will need 1 cup of that, which I'm just going to set to the side. And I'm going to actually start by putting in my powdered Swerve. So I used powdered Swerve in this case. You can use any sort of powdered sugar that you have. I know Lakanto has a monk fruit blend out as well too that you can also use. But I used 1.5 cups of powdered Swerve in this recipe, and I will have this recipe linked below. It ended up making, I want to say it was 18. I will have to look at the end of this video when I actually make all of the muffins. But this was really, really good recipe. It tasted delicious, and I ended up freezing them, and they froze absolutely perfect. So I like to freeze mine, and then I can kind of monitor it, and then as I need it and as I eat it, I can just take it out, because obviously I'm trying to cut down on like the coconut flour, things that have a lot of artificial sweeteners, like when it's in this amount of quantity. All right, so we are just going to add that. And then next we are going to add some vanilla. So we are going to use 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. So we are going to add a splash of that as well, which I will do later on. First, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the pumpkin to this mixture. So I added all of the pumpkin that I had there off to the side and put all of that in with my mixture. And then here I'm just going to add my vanilla. You guys know I rarely actually measure my vanilla. I am guilty of that. I always tend to just put a splash of vanilla, but you know what? It always turns out really, really good. So another thing too that I'm limiting, which I have mentioned before in my videos, is I find that coconut flour really causes weight gain with me. Now, I'm not sure if it's like an inflammation or an allergy or what exactly, but coconut flour does affect my weight. And that was another reason why I ended up freezing these. I'm allergic to all nuts, hence why I don't make this with almond flour. So I was happy to find a recipe with coconut flour, but that's another reason why it's a good idea to freeze these and take them out just as you eat them. I only have like literally a couple of them a week. I don't have very much at all. As you would have seen previously, I added 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And now I am just adding in some cinnamon as well too. All right, and then we are just going to give that a good stir. I just wanted to make sure that everything was really, really well combined before I started adding any of my other ingredients. So I did make sure that it was all really, really well combined before I started mixing anything else in my mixture. You can probably put this in your, like use your hand mixer or even in your KitchenAid if you have one, but to be honest, it mixed it really, really well, I must say, just even by using this little like spatula that I had on hand. So I just mixed everything together, and then we will add in our coconut oil and butter mixture as well. All right, so we are just going to add our coconut oil and butter mixture to our pumpkin mix, and then we are just going to give it a good stir and make sure that everything is really well combined. It'll be awfully runny. We still have a few more ingredients that we do have to put in this mixture, so just so you know, you're not doing anything wrong or missing anything. It's just we do still have a couple ingredients that we need to incorporate into this. So we're just going to finish mixing that, making sure that everything once again is well combined. All right, now we are going to add our coconut flour, and you will need a 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of coconut flour for this recipe. So that was one reason why I really enjoyed this this recipe, because it didn't ask for almond flour and just only coconut flour. So it was really, really good. This doesn't taste like coconut, even though we used coconut flour and coconut oil. It does not have a coconut flavor to it, in my personal opinion. I feel like there was enough of the pumpkin puree and the pumpkin spice used that it does not have any sort of coconut flavor. And then we are going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I use the Redmond's real salt, of course. And then we are also going to add some baking powder, and you will need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder to this mixture. So I'm just going to add that on the top, and then we are going to combine everything so that it's really, really well mixed and incorporated so that we can start with our next step for our recipe. All right, so in the bowl here, this is going to be kind of like our filling. It's going to be our cream cheese filling. So in this bowl, I have 3 ounces of cream cheese, which I actually had put in the microwave just to soften it up a little bit. I did not leave it on my counter, but if you have time and leave it on your counter, it does need to be room temperature. Then we are going to add 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream to that. And then we are going to add 1.5 tablespoons of powdered Swerve. So like I said, you can use any sort of powdered sweetener. In my case, I always tend to use Swerve, so I'm going to add that. And then we are also going to need a splash or a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla as well too. And then you are going to mix this until everything is well combined. Yeah, so just give it a stir and make sure that everything is well combined. If you do feel like you need to add some more heavy whipping cream, you definitely can do that. I kind of wanted mine to be a little bit more thicker just because it was going in with my muffins. And you know, this recipe was spot on for all of the measurements. I actually didn't have to do anything different at all for this recipe. It all turned out absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to finish combining that, making sure that everything is smooth and well combined. All right, I decided to be a little bit extra and add some pumpkin spice baking chips with my muffins, and they tasted delicious. So as you can see here, I ended up just mixing it with my batter. My camera actually died, so I mixed it with the batter. As you can see, a little bit of the chocolate or the pumpkin spice chips. And then what I did is on top, I put a dollop of the cream cheese on each one, and I swirled it in with a toothpick. And this was the final result. And we are going to put that in a 350-degree oven for 22 minutes. My camera died, so I did take a couple clips for the rest of the recipe for the pumpkin spice cream cheese muffins, but they are cooling, so let me show you what I have. I'm going to let them cool completely, like a couple hours before I take them out of the silicone muffin cupcake hold liners that I have, but let me show you them. They look absolutely amazing. All right, these are them. So the recipe calls for 18. I ended up getting 19, but pretty close, but they look so good. Like I said, I'm gonna let them totally cool before I take them out, because one thing with when you use coconut flour is it does crumble very easily, so you have to make sure that everything is completely cooled. So I'm going to be taking this as a dessert as well, and I wanted to take keto goodies so that I could stay on track while I was away. So this is how they turned out, so I will keep you posted on how they taste once I get them all out of the cupcake liners.